Should you really use all of your hard-earned cash to pay for your car, or should you keep that money in your pocket and finance it instead? Today I'm going to cover the 3 reasons why most people finance instead of paying cash. More on that starting now. Financing or paying cash is a hot topic in the world of car buying, but it's important to first understand why people choose to pay cash in the first place. So let's dive right in. Paying cash is a great option if you have the available funds to do so because you avoid paying interest and don't have to worry about a car payment. Not to mention, it's also easier to stick to a budget when you pay cash because your concentration is on the out-the-door price, not a monthly payment. This is why financing makes it easier to go over budget because your focus is on the monthly payment, not the total amount financed. For example, if your budget is $20,000 cash, you may not be too crazy about spending $22,000, which would be $2,000 over your budget. But if you were financing that same $22,000 vehicle, it's way easier to justify adding, say, $40 to your monthly payment, even though you're still $2,000 over that $20,000 budget. Insurance is also an area where cash and financing can be different. When you finance a car, it's required to get full coverage insurance, which includes liability and collision coverage. Liability covers the people, collision covers the vehicle. But when you pay cash, you have the option to get full coverage or just liability. Now, if you're buying a brand new vehicle for cash, you may still want to get full coverage because that vehicle has a lot of value. And if anything were to happen, you want to make sure you cover the vehicle so you can replace it in the case of an accident. However, if your vehicle is super inexpensive, you may feel it's not worth to cover the vehicle because it has very little value. Even though I wouldn't recommend getting just liability coverage insurance, when you pay cash, the choice is yours and you can manage the monetary risk reward accordingly. Listen, like I said, buying cash is a great option, but between all 4 of our locations, only about 5 to 10% of our customers wind up paying cash. That's because of a few things. Number 1, you can avoid cutting into your savings when you finance a vehicle, which could be useful in the case of an emergency. Number 2, you may even be able to invest that money elsewhere with a potential better rate of return. For example, if you have good credit and you can get a low rate, you may be able to get a higher rate of return on your money elsewhere. So if your rate of return elsewhere is higher than the rate you paid on your auto loan, you could come out ahead, even though you're paying interest on the loan. Finally, number 3, some banks offer incentives and rebates when financing that can't be offered on cash deals. Most of these banks don't have prepayment penalties either, meaning you only pay interest on the months you borrow the money. For example, if a bank is offering you a $2,000 rebate to finance at a 2.9% annual percentage rate on a new car, you can choose to finance the vehicle, then pay the car off shortly after to pay a minimal amount of interest to take advantage of the extra discount from the $2,000 rebate. In closing, it basically comes down to how you want to manage your money. If you can afford the full amount up front without tapping in all of your savings, then buy it with cash. You won't have monthly payments or pay any interest. You can choose not to have full coverage insurance, and you're also more likely to stick to your budget. Alternatively, financing lets you pay the cost of the vehicle over a set period of time without having to come up with all that upfront cash out of pocket. Furthermore, just because you have the money to pay cash doesn't mean you necessarily want or have to. Some banks may incentivize you to finance by offering extra incentives and rebates, which could counteract the amount of interest you'll pay. Or if you choose to invest that money elsewhere, you could also see a better return. If this sounds more appealing, then you should finance. I hope this video was helpful, and as always, thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to hear whether you would finance or pay cash and why, so let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to download our free guide, The 8 Steps Before Buying a Car. You can find that link in the description area below. That's all for today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, I'm Matt Blatt. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.